Hey there. Well, today I went to the Pawpaw Festival, and while I was there, I bought a couple of the grafted trees. Now, I had a couple of trees here in my little fruit garden. I ain't doing so well. One was a seedling from last year, and it didn't grow at all. So I decided, you know what? I'm going to switch it out. Turn that hat around. Anyways, I picked this one up, and this is called a NC1. I did a little bit of research on it. The NC1 is out of Canada. It'll ripen early, and it being out of Canada is probably pretty cold hardy tree. It's a graft once again, and I was really intrigued about this tree. And one thing I want to show you, there's root fiber up here, so I'm going to put the tree a little bit deeper than what I would normally do as far as a pot is concerned. Put that over to the side so I can mark that tree later. Now, I'll tell you something else that really interested me about the tree, and I'm going to try and turn this around. It's a graft. I'm looking at it. There's a flower set right there. There's a flower set right there. So it's got a couple of flower sets. I don't think it'll produce next year, but that was kind of interesting. So I've dug the hole. Come over here with it. And what I'm going to do is just a light dusting of rooting hormone. Okay. Put that back in my pocket because I got more use for it. Now let's see if I can get this tree out of the pot without hurting it. Oh, it's got some good root fiber to it. Now, about where I want it. This shows you just how tall that tree really is. So it's a good aged tree. And let's start getting some dirt around it. Around the edges of it. All right, I got it filled about halfway, and a little bit more rooting hormone. Get a little bit of water on top of that dirt. Now, like I said, yeah, it's got a couple flower sets. Whether that ends up producing pawpaw, I have no idea. But a family member and I went to the Pawpaw Festival together and met some people, had some good conversation. Like I said, I picked up 2 grafted trees. This way I have a couple of known varieties in here. I don't like to just throw the dirt in there. I like to make sure the dirt is broke up a little bit. And the reason being is because I don't want air pockets in there. Add some more water to it because I want that dirt to really settle in around that root ball. And I want that rooting hormone to really get in there and do its thing. I'll let that settle down a little bit and I'll add more dirt to it. Now, that's a nice sized tree. For a grafted tree, I'm really surprised at how big that tree is. And I'm really pleased. Now my pawpaws I got planted close in here. It's with the intentions of they'll get about this big, maybe about that tall. Start producing a few pawpaws. I'll have a few years of pawpaws out of them when they get tall enough. And then I'm going to come through here and I'm going to start taking pawpaw trees out of here. This is just to get my establishing going on as far as pawpaw fruit. And as these trees grow, they're going to get crowded. So I'm going to have to thin them out. I did that with the intentions of thinning them out. Now this tree, obviously it does not need to be protected. It's more than big enough to handle full sun. That's the one thing I liked about it. I like the bigger trees. That tree, if it don't produce next year, it'll probably produce the year after. But we'll find out if it does next year, because I'm going to hand pollinate those flowers if they come out and show themselves. Anyways, we got that water to settle down. Some of you may think I'm being a little bit generous on the rooting hormone, and there's a reason behind that. We're at that time of the year. This is actually the time of the year to start planting your trees. Fall time is a good time to plant those trees. And even though the tree goes dormant, until that ground freezes, the roots will continue to try to grow out. And that rooting hormone is going to cause them roots to want to grow out. And throw this bucket over to the side. Whoop. And that's the reason why I'm being generous with that rooting hormone. I'm going to finish this up real quick, get it over with. I got another one to do, but I think I'll wait until tomorrow to do it. The other one's not as big as this. This one right here, I think you're looking at a 4-year-old tree. Might even be 5. If that was a seedling, I'd be safe to say it's probably a 5-year-old tree, which it'll produce in a couple years. The other one is a 2-year-old graft, and they're saying 4 to 5 years it'll produce. Now the other one, I'll post it, But I'm going to go ahead and finish this off and relax the rest of the evening. I'd put a lot of miles on my truck. But anyways, my name's James. If you like what you see, subscribe. And don't forget to click on that bell for notifications. You have a God bless day.